Hello, everybody. My name is Anouk, and I work for the online market research agency called Insights Consulting. And there I am part of our R&D team, and my main focus is on developing our research community solution. Now, this presentation is about mobile and the opportunities and risks of using mobile in research. And before we made this presentation, we did a study to see the current behaviors of mobile. We questioned 1,000 smartphone users on when they use their mobile phone, and there are already some striking numbers. For example, 64% of the people indicate that they use their phone while shopping. 41% takes their phone to bed, and a bit more than 1 in 3 is using it in the toilet. So you see that no environment today is 100% mobile free anymore. And with a major increase of using mobile today, it needs little explanation to understand that mobile offers new opportunities for research. At this moment, we see that most of the current research efforts are based on either mobile surveying as a tool or mobile ethnography. But are we fully embracing all opportunities that mobile has to offer? So are we ready to jump into the mobile research space? Well, in order to find out, we did a test, and we tested the MRX industry on what they already know about mobile research. A few weeks ago, for the SMR 3D conference, we made a survey and we invited market researchers to take part in this small quiz on social media. And the average score of this test was 42%. So as these results show, there is still a lot to learn. And you can still take this test, by the way, by clicking on that QR code or scanning the QR code. You will go to the survey. So let's see what the opportunities and risks are for both qualitative research and quantitative research. And on our journey, we will explore 3 domains of the mobile research space, and let's take a look at the first one. And this first opportunity that is often overlooked is within the area of sampling. So far, we made a clear distinction between online and offline research. However, mobile is bringing the best of both worlds when it comes to recruitment. We have the ability to recruit people, for example, via a QR code or a link on the spot, and they can give some first feedback in the heat of the moment. At this moment, we can also ask their opt-in for later. So we ask ourselves, are consumers really willing to do this? So we did a test in cooperation with Xandres, which is a Belgian clothes manufacturer. And in several of their shops, we distributed posters and leaflets with a link or a QR code to the survey. And when scanning the code or surfing to that link, those people could take a very short survey on their in-store experience and also opt in for more detailed questions later onwards. So how did this go? Well, we benchmarked the results with the recruitment on their client database. And the good news was that we were able to recruit a similar amount of people in store as via their client database. One disadvantage, however, was that the recruitment went a bit slower because we were dependent on the number of visitors in the shop. But on the other hand, this method really delivered us less waste, since we are looking for people who recently shopped in these stores. We had a spot-on recruitment and also few costs to find those people. So was it a great success or not? Well, we can wonder what the profile was of the participants in our shop recruitment. And like in the early days of online research, there might be some representativity issue. So we assessed the profile of our participants, and our test shows that we are right to be concerned, because when we compared the profile of our sample with people recruited via the database, we found some differences, and the biggest difference, or the biggest bias, is on the socio-demographics. We recruited mainly youngsters via those QR codes and leaflets in the shops. Also, people who took part in the store were more engaged with the brands in comparison with the benchmark. And we also feared that our mobile sample was more tech savvy, but as a matter of fact, we did not find any differences there. So all in all, it shows that mobile has a lot of opportunities for recruitment in case we are looking for a younger, more engaged consumer or users of a certain product or service. So that's the first domain with new opportunities, recruitment. Let's take a look at the second domain. Besides focusing on our processes, we asked ourselves, should we not go beyond mobile as a method? I mean, many marketeers and brands are looking into the area of mobile marketing. So what about research on mobile as a topic? How can we help, for example, brands who want to develop an app? We can set up a research community to understand the needs of the target group. We can also conduct a survey to investigate the mobile profile of the target group. However, so far, we felt that a good method to evaluate the success of an app was still missing. Therefore, we set up a test in cooperation with Kinepolis, and this is the market leader in Belgium when it comes to movie theaters. They developed an app, which you can see here on the slide as well, to inform their clients about the new movies in the theater that best fit their movie profile. And Kinepolis was eager to measure the satisfaction of the app. Also, they want to investigate more in depth the profile of those app users. And a third final question they had is to assess the ROI of the app. Yeah, well, first of all, we had to find these app users. In order to cope with their questions, we installed a small pop-up in their app that invited them to take part in the research. And then app users could answer a couple of questions before returning to the app, and again, gave their opt-in for a follow-up survey. So the question is, how effective were we? Well, we had our doubt if consumers would be willing to take part in in-app research. Well, we were amazed with the results when it came to recruitment. In less than 4 hours, already 400 people subscribed to the research. And if you think about it, in-app recruitment could be a new ecosystem for research. So it was not a problem to get people to participate in the app. In total, 6,000 people took part, and 25% of them also completed the longer follow-up survey. So we need to decide wisely on which question to ask in the app and which question to ask afterwards in that follow-up survey. Another challenge we had, there was actually another challenge because, well, guidelines are pretty much missing on this matter. So which questions should we really ask in that heat of the moment? And the key to solve this might lay in recall. Traditionally, consumers are, well, bad testimonials of their own behaviors. That's nothing new. And they do not always recall what they do. Mobile could solve this since we asked them the question on the spot. And mobile should allow us to get more accurate and new information. So we did several tests on this in our study, and we found two striking results. The first one is what we call the too good to be true effect, and let me explain this. We see that consumers who had a very high satisfaction score in the store, they seem to post-rationalize their behavior post-hoc and indicate that their experience was more moderate than initially reported in the heat of the moment. So that's the first one, the too good to be true effect. The second effect has to do with more negative experiences. We found that if people were negative about one element in the heat of the moment, but had a very positive experience in general, they would minimize this negative experience post hoc. And it is a bit comparable with memories of your holidays, where you also tend to remember that it was great, and you tend to forget about that one day of bad weather which was maybe less pleasant. So these were two findings of that recall effect. But more research is necessary, but our first results already indicate that we could formulate some guidelines on what questions to ask, to answer when. So this was it for surveys and going beyond the methods and more on mobile as a topic. But what about the other domains in the mobile research? And then we see that mobile is also a very exciting new domain for communities. Such a research community is what I would say an online closed platform where you invite people that share a strong interest in a topic or a brand, and such community is mainly used for qualitative research purposes. One example is the community that you see here, which is called Come Dine With Me. And this is what we set up together with Campbell's in Australia. For this community, we invited 50 food mavens or enthusiasts that all shared a very strong interest in cooking, and our goal was to explore and to discuss the newest food trends of today. And this was the first community where we used our mobile app, which you can see on the right. And with this app, people were now able to follow the same discussions via their mobile as they could via their desktop. So based on this first mobile experience in communities, we want to share our first learnings with you. And when we started this community, actually, I was a bit worried about the engagement. I was asking myself, well, will these people still be engaged with our community through such a small screen? So, yeah, we asked ourselves that question, and actually, it turns out that it's the opposite. It makes people more engaged. Using that mobile app makes them more engaged because it helped them to better stay in touch on different moments with our community. Some even confessed that they would have spent less time on the Come Dine With Me community if it wasn't for the app. So having a dual screen actually boosts their engagement. Well, next to engagement, another thing that I was worried about was the richness that we usually get of the posts. For myself, as a community manager, I am used to getting amazingly long posts that are full of interesting arguments that members type just in front of their PCs on their keyboards. But how does that work when you don't use such a keyboard anymore? So the question is, will such a smaller screen then result in less rich data? And luckily this is not the case. We actually saw that we didn't get more posts, but we got more different contributions. So with this mobile app, we received far more pictures and videos from our members in these discussions that were made in the heat of the moment and then immediately shared with the whole community. And this is really insightful for topics such as their cooking experiences. And by offering this mobile app, members start to decide themselves on the format of their posts. Is a photo, a video, or a text more relevant in this case? And I want to share an example of this one community member that you can see above. He was preparing a recipe of mashed potatoes, a new recipe, and it did not really go as planned. He had a bit of an accident with the blender when he was preparing this recipe, and with his mobile phone he decided to share his experience directly with our community, and he made the decision on that moment to share a video of the instead of a photo, because he wanted to fully capture the moment. Well, unfortunately, I can't show you the video through this webinar, but this example really shows that members are more triggered to think about their contributions and share feedback in the format that is more relevant. So, based on our experiences with mobile, we see that desktop and mobile are actually best friends with benefits, each having their own different benefits. And it's really the duality of both desktop connection and mobile that gives highest engagement and most richest contributions. So we have explored the 3 domains for recruitment, mobile marketing as topic, with an example of surveys, and finally mobile and communities. And this brings me to the end of our mission in space. We landed in a new territory where there is so much more to discover. But based on our mission, we have already 3 takeaways for you. First of all, don't be blinded by this new ecosystem, because mobile provides large opportunities for recruitment. Think about how fast we got those participants in 4 hours, the opportunities for in-app recruitment, and also reaching youngsters. Second, don't forget about all the opportunities of mobile marketing, well, both in terms of uncovering consumer needs towards a mobile app, as well as evaluating and measuring the success. And a third takeaway is that mobile research leads to new information that is captured in the heat of the moment, and as well as richer data, as we just saw in the case for research communities. So thank you all for listening. And the final note, I want to wish everyone good luck on their missions to further explore this mobile research space. Thank you.